Before we get into this live, I want to go over a quick overview of what I'd like to go over, and I'll try to keep this as orderly as I possibly can to keep this in the most thought out and most professional manner that I can. So we'll go over the XRP chart as we're up about 1.1% on the day. Nothing major, about 1% on average. Nothing major. But we'll look to see what the volume portfolio looks like and if there's any chance of advancement here or if we're starting to cap any upside. I'd like to take a look at the volume profile with everybody as well. Syrian, welcome in. I appreciate you being in here bright and early already. Wow. Not only are you in Tom's Army in your first month with the emoji badge of me being abducted by aliens, but you're a very trusted mod, so I greatly appreciate you being a mod and being in here and also showing love for my content by being a member of Tom's Army as well. So we'll go over that stuff. We'll go over the fact that Ripple decided to sell 150 million out of their July that they have up for sale, that they took out of basically their July supply. So we'll go over that, and it did put a little bit of uncertainty or put an edge on the community for XRP. Just the fact they see the headlines, a lot of people see Ripple selling XRP. They see the amount being 150 million XRP, which is like $61 million worth. And, you know, it gets everybody, their head spinning a little bit, some, you know, rightfully so, trying to figure out why Ripple would be selling. It starts getting the speculation going. So we've got that going for us today. I started at a slightly different time. Just change it up a little bit and looking for that vibe that we have. So I do appreciate everybody tuning in. Brad, welcome in. Moza here, good evening, and thanks for being in Tom's Army for over 6 months with the XRP Predictor. The Gatman, welcome in, and thanks for being in Tom's Army for over 2 years with the XRP 589 Moon Badge. John Hall, welcome in, my brother, doing great, and good evening to everybody else as well, and as well as you, John Hall. Thank you so much for tuning in. You're welcome, Syrian. I truly meant every word. Corey Zinberg, welcome in. Says hello from the D, just south of me by about 15, 20, actually about 25, 30 minutes. Not too cool. The traffic at least, but it's pretty cool to see you down, you know, just down to the south of me. That's pretty cool, man. When the next time I go down there, it'd be cool if I just ran into a few people. It would. But so yeah, we've got a lot to talk about. Bitcoin's up about 1,000 points today, almost 1,100, up about 1.88% to 57,779. And we'll take a look to see exactly what Bitcoin's looking at, if we've gained any volume in the profile, and if we got over any major resistance that needs to be spoke of. Nick Morales, welcome in. JW, welcome in, and thanks for being in Tom's Army for over 1 year with the I Told You So badge. Ryan Anderson, welcome in. Good to see you in here as always, my friend. Long time you were there. I've been great, man. I've been good, Mr. Anderson. He's basically from the Matrix. Remember, that's how that whole thing started with us over, it feels like years, 3 years ago maybe. Tanya, welcome in, and thanks for being in Tom's Army for over 1 year with the I Told You So badge. I love seeing the older ones and the newer ones that are in the house today. Jorge, welcome in. Yopi, good evening, and thanks for being in Tom's Army for over 1 year with the I Told You So badge. Shane, welcome in. Hope you're having a blessed evening as always. So that's what I'd like to go over. We'll look in to see a little bit deeper to see what 50 million XRP is about. It's worth about 64.5 million. So that's just come out of the July reserves. And let the speculation begin, because there's a lot of speculation. Maybe it's for a settlement. Maybe it's because Ripple has lost faith in XRP. You know, you get all the spiraling interjections, which I just think I think it's standard operating procedure. So it doesn't make me feel one way or the other. This is just business practices, business as usual, and we'll carry on. So with that being said, make sure to hit that like button. So YouTube does recommend this live. By you hitting that like button and YouTube recommending the live, it'll show up in the news feed. So whether you're a newer or older viewer, it'll be recommended. And that just means that when you're scrolling through the YouTube news feed, my content pops up. So if you don't know who I am, you'll get that first contact with me. Or if you know who I am, maybe you forgot, you know, whether or not I still do content, you'll see it pop up in the feed, and it might give you a reason to click it. So make sure to hit that like button. YouTube will recommend my content, and we'll be able to grow this fantastic community. We'll continue this conversation in a minute. So hit that like button. I'll catch you on the other side of the intro. Good evening. 6:15 p.m. Eastern Standard Time on this Tuesday, July 9th, 2024. I'm XRP Future Millionaire, and I reside in the great state of Michigan. So I'd like to thank and welcome in the new members and to the old members who have found their way back to the community. It's such an integral part to have you come back. Not just the older members that become the reason why our community grows in such a way. We become to make a name for ourselves, and we have a certain feel in here and a certain energy and atmosphere that begins to build over time. But we also need the new members that can continue to bring us a point of view that we may not have seen. They can interject in a way we may not have heard before, and they continue to grow that positivity within, and it'll help us have a more unified bond, and it'll allow us to continue to share in a way that we do here that I think is unique. Because I'm not about making people come here. I'm not about, lying to everybody so I can get views. My whole purpose here isn't to get views. My whole purpose here is to push the truth and to show everybody what I can see on the charts and what we see in the news and come to a rational decision on what needs to be done, but at least have it from a point of truth and an understanding that I'm not going for the FUD, I'm not going for the fear mentality or even the optimistic point of view just to get views. I'm doing this for historical data, historical evidence, so that in the future somebody can't come back and say, why didn't you try to help everybody if you knew what was going to happen or if you could see something going on? And it'll be my historical evidence here. So for everybody who's joined along the way, I never thought in my wildest dreams we'd be at 22,200 subscribers, not just now, but ever. I started in March of 2021, so it's truly a unbelievable journey we've been on, and it's just going to get stronger as we approach 2028. 2028 will be the year when my station makes the biggest growth movement that it will ever make from now to then, or even after 2028. 2028 is going to be the year of transformation for the station. And some might say, well, how do you know that? It's just the timing of what's going to happen within the ISO, the IoT tokens, and also the fact that we'll be full on digital, and we might not even know what paper money is by then. But that'll be the year of revolution, the year of revelation, and the year of true growth here. So it'll be an honor and a privilege to see everybody in the earlier times. But down there, it's going to be a really unique experience once we get to that part of the destination. But remember, it's about the journey, folks. It's not about the destination. It's about the journey. So everybody who's been on the journey so far, not only have you gained a lot of knowledge and wisdom, but I've also gained it as well from each and every one of you. So that, my friends, ladies and gentlemen, I cannot thank you enough for offering me your perspectives and also giving me the ability to look outside of my general comfort zones in areas I would have never thought possible. It's because of this great community for the last couple of years that they got me deeper involved in HBAR, in Casper. See, when I came in, the most I had to offer was XRP, XLM, XDC, DGB, IOTA, Algo, those kind of tokens. This community's brought me deep, and VeChain and Zill and that kind of stuff. This community brought me deeper to what you see on the bottom side here. This HBAR, Casper, allowed me to dig much deeper into those two in particular. A few of you helped me open my eyes to Algo. I had a good understanding of IOTA, but Algo was one that you guys opened my eyes big time as well. So it's been a unified and growing response. Doge I knew about, Shiba I had no idea. So it's been very interesting. Somebody told me about Gala token a long time ago and SHX and just a few of these other ones, AMP some time ago. I knew about Filecoin and ADA and some of the other ones, but Velo somebody told me about. So it's just to me, it's a fun and culminating experience when we can start to put a little bit of history behind us and we start to get a little traction. And now we actually can have a understanding of each other for the ones who have been here for any length of time and who now understand, my delivery and the things that I do, because it is very unique. So anyhow, with that being said, the bottom line is thank you. The most important thing you have to give me is your time, as I have to you is my time. Every day we see each other, we're one day older and a little bit closer to that final decision. And you know what that is. Back with our Lord and Savior. So let's enjoy what time we do have on this precious planet. Let's keep the negativity out and let's stay positive. And with that being said, let's get into the charts. XRP's up 0.88% today, up 3.8 cents to 43.5 cents. I currently do not have any kind of copy trade for the community open right now. Haven't opened one in about 24 hours since our 23% and 4.8% moves. Since those trades, nothing's been open. I have not done anything from the spot perspective in the last few days as well. The only thing of note that we can speak of is the fact that XRP right now is sitting somewhat stuck in a consolidation zone. And if we look at it just from the general point of view, if you're not familiar with the technical analysis, we're going to do a rundown real quick. So this pattern formation keeps you in a shorter concept. However, the one thing you can see here, and you won't be able to see it encapsulated here, but there is a rising channel here. You'll be able to see it when we go back into this chart because we've fallen out of it as well, and then it comes into a falling channel. But that rising channel is very important, so just, it'll all tie in. Just give me 1 second, I promise. So XRP right now in the shorter time frame is in this, a little bit of an ascending consolidation on the support, descending resistance, and now we've come into kind of the extension zone. We broke out of this short-term consolidation, which I'm deleting because there's no point of having it. It broke us down into here, and we tried to hold at about 42 cents. That failed. That failed at 42.1 cents. What ended up happening and what ended up materializing is we came all the way back down to what I like to call, since all-time highs, this is the all-time formation we're in. So we hit all-time highs in January of 2018, and this will be a very nice breakdown for anybody who's new. And I'm going to remember to start doing this every single live as if every single one of you have found my content for the first time. So if you're new, this will be refreshing. If you're old, this will just have to be something you get through, and it'll help you continue to be more transcending within what you know, and allow you to make a quicker decision and a more confident decision as well, because you'll end up hearing this with repetition. So January 18th, all-time highs between 330 and 380 depending on exchange. And then it took us 27 months to come down here to March of 2020, where we hit the swing low at just over 10 cents. Then we bounced off. Then we went to resistance for a second time in April of 2021. And that's when we were all together starting in March. Then we came back down to support here in 22 and 23. Bounced out to resistance for a third time, confirming this pattern as what we thought it was. At resistance, back in about March of this year at about 76 cents. Now, we've come back down again and hit support at 40.1 cents. Now the question is, because of such a weak rebound here, are we showing signs that either we're breaking through here to come down 35% farther if this were to budge to 26 cents, or are we simply showing the materialization of a new ground floor support here that gets us in between to grab some liquidity but not break us all the way down? And what I mean by that is we came down and we have this falling channel that we can unequivocally say is what's happening. We've had the 3 hits of support, 1, 2, 3, almost hit it 4th, not quite. If it rolls back down to support, the speculation is, yes, between this falling channel, you could come all the way to 28 cents. But in my personal estimations, this would happen relatively quickly if it was going to happen. Probably by sometime in the end of July, maybe into August. But it could roll down into October near Halloween. But unless this is pulling a W reversal right now, like right now, the chances are, the odds are this will probably come back down here because we need to hit a ground support if it's going to be below 40.5. If it rolls off of here, it was nothing more than a wick in the all-time pattern. 40.5 cents hold serve, and now you buy support, sell resistance. So you're buying support, and you would sell resistance up here near 57 cents, 58 cents. And then you go as business as usual. Unless it breaks out or breaks down, you buy support, sell resistance. That's the best tool that I can give you. You can, if you can just identify the structure, no matter in the bounce for the bullish move or the bearish breakdown is always smaller every time it makes the move up and down because it tightens up, and then it acts like a springboard. So even if bearish, you could still have a 33.69% move to 57.7. Now, before you get too excited, there's a lot of obstacles to pass here before we could even rationalize in our head that, hey, we're coming back up to those levels. So now, what I would like to do is look at Let's see if I missed anybody. Trading with J Ride said, or well, JW said, buckle up. I agree, buckle up indeed. And Trading with J Ride, not only being in Tom's Army for over 2 years with the XRP 589 Moon badge, approaching that 3-year XRP Diamond Hands badge, which I can't wait to see you have, says hit that like button, which I could not agree more. I'm not looking at how many people are watching. I'm not looking how many people are hitting the like button until, we get a long way through this. Usually I look at 7. Today I started a little early. Yes, Corey, I'm actually aware that they sell every single month. This is just outside of the escrow. This is just some of their allotted July reserves, as I've already stated. So yes, actually, you know what? Thank you for alluding that to a further point. You know why? Because there's more people in here that might not know what's going on. So yes, indeed, my friend. Yes, Corey, I'm sorry. I didn't mean to respond like that. I recognized when it came out that was not the appropriate response, because by you saying that, it's alluding to the fact that somebody else who might have just come in here, or maybe they're not even understanding of what I'm saying, but that's a great way you broke it down in the comments, and I actually like that, because you give me the ability to, someone to see the expression in the comments as well. Keep It On says, I think Ripple is selling because it's going to drop further. Well, I mean, that's the speculation that's going around. That's within my, the title, why I just said the fear, or, it's just the anxiety amongst holders. They see that Ripple selling. Most people that are holding don't understand the reasons why. Right now, I can tell you, it makes me a little uneasy. Would you guys say this is an inverted hammer candle or a gravestone doji? Because it's a very big difference if it's if it's a inverted hammer, that's very different than a doji here. Because a doji is actually a bearish candle here in this perspective, because it would be a gravestone. But I'm having a tough time analyzing it because it's kind of stuck in a neutral area. Some might argue that this is kind of like one of those 75-80% inverted hammers, but it's very difficult to decide. So we did come down for that nice consolidation, and we'll just have to stack up everything we've talked about. It's either we're going to reverse back up and push back towards the pattern resistance on the downtrending resistance that started in January of 2018. We're going to come down a little bit farther and tap here at 36.6 cents. Or we're going to come down to 28 cents or the 26 cent area and reset. That is the options that I see out in front of us. So if we want to have a bullish continuation and see a bullish materialization, the problem with me is I can't get over this, and I never have been able to. These are rising channels. These are bearish consolidations. And unless we broke out, which we had a fake out here, rejected here, unless we would have broke out, these are never good. And now we're seeing the implications here. And it's already been a harsh one, because once it fell out of the rising channel, even at this resistance point, we've already fallen off from where we're at, even better than 23%, even where we're at right now. So that's a harsh come down, but it's nothing near the harshness that could be in store. Because when you reverse from this, and I said I wasn't sugarcoating it, we still have an extra breakdown here where it could come all the way down to the pattern reset at 28.8 cents. And that's 33% from where we're at. If we just look in realistic terms, we can even come all the way over here because the channel stayed the same. The breakdown, and we know where it came down now, we can look at a technical breakdown target. And these are they're usually pretty spot on. And you can see how close that even came already from the breakdown. I mean, it's suggesting 33.4. It came down to 37.6 on this chart, 38.1, somewhere in there. But it gives you that breakdown area as well. So this is nothing to be afraid of. Let me just, from me to you, this is nothing to be afraid of. This is what you want to have in front of you, so that, what I always like to say, it's like a cheat sheet. We know we're on a cup and handle. And like I said, that rising channel, the handle we had on there, nobody says the way I had it is right. Nobody says that just because I had it like this, It doesn't make it right. And this is the point I was trying to push across for a long time. Even though we had it like this, that doesn't make us right. It just means, you know, that's a layer that we identified as a possibility that we could create the handle. Now, the handle could be that falling channel that's created right now. That could be the real channel or the real handle. Nobody knows. Nobody knows, but if it holds this, it's going to be the biggest volatility we've seen in a long time to the upside. We just don't know from where. I would say there's a better than not chance because we're outside of the falling channel and because the volume portfolio looks so poor. And I don't mind if you call me the crypto bear or the bear of, I don't care because a lot of people call me it when I talk bearish, but it's only because I have our best interests in front of us. That doesn't mean I'm not long on XRP. It doesn't mean that I don't think over time XRP is going to appreciate by a lot, because I do. It's just within the bear market, I also know going into 28 is when our big reawakening happens. Everything up until 28 is a process. It doesn't mean we don't rise until 28. It just means the gratification that some are looking for. And I don't mean $10,000 a token. I mean, if you're looking for that $10, $20, $30 potentially. We've got some time in front of us to where we're going to have to build. We're going to have to allow the adoptability and the acquisitions and the continued rollouts on the ledger happen. And we're going to appreciate, folks. Just take advantage of these, because in the future, we're going to look back at 22, 23, 24, and parts of 25 as the biggest opportunity we had left with XRP. That's the most honest I can be with you. Take advantage of these moments before they pass you by. Because I'm looking for a scenario, and I've made no bones about it here. If you're new, I'm looking to see if it comes back down to that 36.5 cent area, or if we reset at 28. Now, I'll be very interested to see if it does try to have some kind of bounce back here, now that it's back over our level where we were speculating whether it was a cup and handle. If it simply bounces off of here, we could expect a rally, if it plays true, back up to this uptrending resistance in time around 60 cents. And I only say that because we're in a falling channel. And this has already materialized beautifully because we already came back down and proved a fourth time that the falling channel held us. So this is not the worst thing in the world. In fact, it's exactly what we needed to get out of that rising channel and start to correct a little bit so that we could start to reassess the circumstance. Like, you don't want to be stuck in a rising channel because the consequences are harsh. And right now, as we know, the consequence of falling outside the rising channel now, we've come down some at the peak 32.6%. Right now, still about 23.4% roughly, or 23.1. But I do expect over time that XRP is going to have a significant appreciation. But I'm not married to anything. See, you shouldn't be married to your asset. You should be married to the right time to buy, the right time to accumulate, and the right time to offload if we come to the end of a bull market back into a bear market. There's nothing worse than holding through a bull market, not reaping any of the rewards, and seeing it come down farther than you bought it, or at least near, or maybe in some cases by a lot. You want to gain the fruits of your labor, and then by those fruits of your labor, it allows you to do less to gain those same fruits. That's the point. The more capital you have, the less you have to do on a percentage basis to make the same fruit. The goal here is to make fruit, not compost. The compost becomes you start giving your money away to the exchanges because they charge you too much, like Uphold. You go onto that exchange, and I was on there for years. You have to pay a 6 to 8% fee. If it's high times volatility, if you're lucky, it's about 4%. And it ends up costing a lot. So I encourage you to look in the video description below at BITUNIX, lowest spot and leverage trading fees in the USA. Don't give away your money. Don't become the compost for the exchange so that they can reuse what you have. Don't want to do that. And then you can leverage your spot trade. They have a lot of different assets. That's USA or abroad. You don't need VPN or KYC there unless you're transferring or receiving from a bank for KYC. Or if you want to copy trade me, BITUNIX will have it sometime this month on the exchange, but it's not available yet. You have to go in the video description below, go to HOTCOIN, follow the link, and then go to copy trade and follow XRP Future MIL under the copy trade. Right now, we're up like 19.9% on our $100 challenge. So we're at like $19 and something cents in the profit. So right now looking good. No trades open today. They also have the XRP Bitcoin pairing. They have IOTA, IOTA X, which is why I love the exchange personally. So that's where I go. Make an educated and informed decision. And then there's also BLOFIN, but I still have to do some more experimenting with, so I'm not ready to continue to talk about it because I've seen some inconsistencies with their leverage and futures trading. So other than that, that's a way to do it. If you want to show me personal support, you can always join Tom's Army. Get that emoji badge of me being abducted by aliens in month 1. Or send 1 YouTube super chat per month. No activity yet this live. But it's not exactly the most thrilling times in crypto. But if you do appreciate what I do, make sure to pay it forward. As my time is, it's an interesting, because time is your most precious thing. But there's nowhere else I'd rather be, honestly. So it's not a net negative, it's a net positive for me, giving my time, either way. So let's read this real quick. Let's go into this and read this. So Ripple sells 150 million XRP for 64.5 million after price drops 8% in a week. And this will just give us a bigger breakdown. And the reason I use this is because it had the transaction summary, and I like that. So Ripple, the developer and the largest holder of XRP, has recently sold 150 million XRP from its July reserves for approximately 64.5 million. Represents a decrease of 13.5 million compared to the company XRP sales in June. So there's no reason to be on edge, as we're seeing a lot within the community. No reason to be on edge. This is all thought out. It's planned. It happens for a reason like this. The sale follows Ripple's release of 1 billion XRP from an initial distribution, with the tokens then locked in monthly escrows until 2027. This month, Ripple allocated 200 million XRP to its treasury account, while the remaining 800 million were placed in new escrows, as Finbold reports. Notably, an additional 100 million XRP were transferred from a wallet identified on the XRP ledger as Ripple 35. To sell off reserves, bringing the total allocated for sale this month to 300 million XRP. And now here's the transaction summary. So it shows the hash mark, it came off the ledger, index 69, got it, there's the sequence, the fee, delivered 150 million XRP, and the fee was 0.0004 XRP each your hard out Bitcoin transfers. Source Ripple 1, destination, and then the amount was 150 million XRP. The sale itself took place through the company's treasury account, labeled Ripple 1, which sent the tokens to an unlabeled account, RP4X2HTA. This injects previously uncirculated XRP into the market, potentially contributing to inflation of the XRP supply. While 100 million XRP currently remain in the RP4X2HTA account, Ripple has historically transferred a portion of the XRP, and this is what Corey was speaking of, ladies and gentlemen, so thank him in the comments because he alluded to this already. While 100 million XRP currently remain in the RP4X2HTA account, Ripple has historically transferred a portion of the XRP it's set to sell to another intermediary address, RHWT2BHR, before ultimately listing them on cryptocurrency exchanges. The sales come at a time in which the price of XRP has been underperforming. Despite the recent lull, a popular cryptocurrency analyst has recently suggested the cryptocurrency could soon see an explosive upward move, after identifying similar price patterns throughout XRP's history, pointing to a symmetrical triangle breakout. So, after pointing to the way prices are coiling shaping up, combined with where they've came from, historical data and high volume plus an already confirmed hidden bullish divergence, Mark's analysis points to XRP's past performance as a potential benchmark. In mid-2017, XRP's price skyrocketed over 70,000% before reaching its all-time highs. But I'll again preface with just this bit of caution. If you're looking at 2017, two distinct differences in the chart. And it's amazing that so many overlook it. 2017, down, down, down into 20. I mean, these are falling channels, led to another breakout. This is similarity. See, this is where you can go back in 2017, you had a little bit of a rising channel, broke out. Now the problem is here, is this isn't the same. This had a rising channel, now we're reversing back down. This had no reversal. So let me clarify this again. This had no reversal. If you're just going off of this, we came into it on a uptrend consolidation, boom. Right now we came to it on a downtrend, upward consolidation, and back down. That's not the same. Bullish continuation, bearish consolidation. That's two completely different things. So I more think it's looking more like this if we can start to push it in this fashion. You could start to do this and then have a volatile swing. That would be our best interest. So two completely different pattern types. A lot of people point to 2017, but I'm sorry, it's not the same. And it proved it even with the downturn here. We never had a downturn in 2017. Not to mention it was coming in on a bullish continuation, which is why you had that consolidation and then breakout. Right now we came in on a bear flag. We had a bear market rally within that bear flag, and now the bear flag looks like it broke down, potentially, or is at least trying to. So that's the difference. So make sure you understand from a technical level the difference when you start reading articles. Mark suggests, but his short-term prediction involves a potential rally to $1.44, fueled by technical indicators. And here's where you get that, you know, the mumbo jumbo, and you get that overzealous optimism you give somebody, and maybe it makes the endorphins go too high. Maybe the serotonin is released at too high of a level. And no matter now if it's $1, $2, $5, $10, it'll never be good enough because you're expecting this kind of a jump. But he argues that could trigger a breakout from a 6-year price consolidation pattern that in the long run could see XRP exceed the $200 mark per token, representing a steep 45,000% jump from its current levels. This projection assumes a full logarithmic follow-through based on historical data. In a more conservative scenario, Mark suggests XRP could still reach $15 to $20 if the price pattern breaks, representing an over 4,000% increase from current levels. I would have probably just left the article at where it was at and not added the 4,000 or 45,000% gains or 48,000%, and just kept it in perspective of where we're at now. I think now the best thing we can do to benefit ourselves is to keep it in perspective. It's got to keep it in perspective. We keep it in perspective and we can, you know, front run this market. So XRP, another thing we need to look at is volume real quick before we move off XRP for a minute and look at Bitcoin. XRP's volume, and to me it's a big problem. I'll put it in the 2-hour time frame. We're not seeing volume. Since this breakdown, the volume has been non-existent. Rising price, crashing volume is not a good sign. If we put it in the 30-minute, I mean, we can look for volume. We'd have to bring out a magnifying glass, but there is some volume trickling in. But that, to me, never is a good sign. Eventually, we're going to trickle out here, and the sellers are going to overwhelm the buyers. Right now, remember, we've got buyers from that drop down, and they're trying to appreciate the short traders. And I don't mean shorting the market. I mean the swing traders, I should say. The ones who bought it here at 38.5, here at 40, they're looking for the appreciation right now. The first sign they get that this is starting to break, they're getting out of here, and they very well might overwhelm what was here and brought it back up. But again, if we're looking at this realistically, these are lower highs if this continues. Boom, lower high. If this continues, this would be another successive lower high in the smaller time frames, which if this continues to beat us down, it could be telling us before we even can realize it that we're running out of steam. But right now, we haven't broke down yet. We are looking for volume, and every time we push down without volume, it gives us one more attempt to break through and come down just a little bit farther at 36.4 to 37.2 area, or possibly even all the way down to 26 to 28 cents. And then if it breaks those structures, it becomes a little bit of a tricky issue. So I do appreciate the 69 of you watching, the 60 likes. A little quiet this evening, which is never bad. So you must be enjoying the technical analysis as I'm giving it. So let's move on to the next level. As Bitcoin's up over 58,000 right now, or 1,309 points, up 2.31% to 58,024. We currently have come up to resistance here a couple times. And now it's either we can break out of this resistance here at 58,009. Let's just call it 58,100. We have had a failed attempt at 58,300. Pulled back through. And now it's either we push up here with some volatility, or we continue to get rejected here. And a rejection here would be brutal, because in fact, a loss, if we get rejected here and we lose 57,200, we would come all the way down likely to 52,800, or even 48,000, which is my speculation level, 48,404. And that could be just what the doctor ordered here. Now we could get hot here, so let's see if we can get hot here. Hourly's not exactly speaking of us getting hot. We're in a reversal candle, but you never know. We could bring in a little bit of a hotness here at the end in this last, couple minutes. Push it back in the bullish perspective. 200-day here in the hourly. Already been rejected a couple times, right around 58,188. So just make sure you weigh the risk and reward here. But a big sign if we can continue here, and to see if this little W is in fact able to form, because I will make no mistake about it. If we can breach this resistance, we have a W here. Boom, boom. If we can get up here, maybe it can help be a catalyst to push us out. But we need to get over this resistance, otherwise it's going to be bearish. I don't want it to stay bearish necessarily. I don't mind buying at lower highs or lower prices, but I'm sick of seeing this downward consolidation. It makes it more fun for me when it's going up. Well, that's not necessarily true, because I like hunting out price targets and, looking at some opportunity. So that's what I'm seeing, though, with Bitcoin and XRP. See if there's any other news and notes I'd like to share while I'm here. Other than that, I think I've pretty much tapped everything. It's not a very back and forth kind of live, unless it's just not sharing the comments on my tablet. But I just think it's a slower back and forth today, and there's nothing wrong with that. So whales buy the dip for crypto on XRP. So crypto whales buy the dip as 22 million in XRP flows out of Binance. So if you're on here and you're watching, just comment. Or I'm going to look at my phone to see if the comments are working. I think they are. I just think it's slower. That's all. Comment. Huh?
He's shaking head.
He is? Okay. I honestly don't know. Okay. The bottom is in. 38 cents was the target for a year. Sean says, MC Prosperity, welcome in and thank you for continuing to tune in. Aussie says we are going down. So I don't think it's showing the comments on my live unless I was just missing them. Sean says XRP needs to close over 53 cents. Then it's time to buckle up. Nothing to worry about now. Trading sideways, no worries. I agree with that, Sean, 100%. I agree with that 100%. I do, 100%. It's just a sideways kind of trading here. It's a sideways kind of trading. So let's read this, and then I'm going to have to go shortly. Everybody heard Julie, so I'm going to have to go help out here in a minute. Crypto whales buy the dip as 22 million in XRP flows out of Binance. XRP is starting to recover after bouncing off of 40.5 cents on July 5th, suggesting the early stages of a rebound may be brewing. The crypto market has been volatile lately, and XRP hasn't been spared. The crypto's price took a dip recently, dropping below 40 cents for the first time in over a year. It is interesting to note that on-chain data suggests that some whales may be accumulating in anticipation of a major comeback, which may even be responsible for the bounce off of 40 cents. Various on-chain data has showed large XRP transactions in the past few weeks to and from exchanges, suggesting some whales might be taking advantage of the dip to accumulate more tokens. Particularly recent transaction alerts from Whale Alerts on social media platform X noted a recent transfer of 52.1 million XRP tokens worth 22.7 million from crypto exchange Binance into unknown wallet. The details of this 22 million XRP transaction are pretty fascinating, and transfers like this are worth paying attention to, as they can either increase or decrease buying and selling pressure. In this case, the movement away from Binance suggests a decrease in selling pressure on exchanges. Interestingly, on-chain data shows that this wasn't an isolated transaction. Data shows a similar transaction occurred over the weekend, which saw the movement of 31.9 million XRP tokens from Binance into an unknown wallet. At the time of transfer, these tokens were worth 14.22 million. Furthermore, the blockchain analytics engine at blockchain also revealed the transfer of 10 million XRP tokens worth 4.2 million from Binance into another unknown wallet. At the time of writing, XRP is trading at 43.4 cents. If the bulls regain control, the first minor resistance is at 45 cents. And the next key resistance level to watch is around 50 cents. Punching through that mark could open the floodgates for a rally towards 70 or even 80 cent mark. To fuel that kind of upside, XRP would need to see a surge in trading volume and buying pressure from both retail and institutional investors. Positive news from Ripple's ongoing legal battle with the SEC could be a major catalyst. An outright winner settlement would remove a huge cloud of uncertainty hanging over XRP. On the flip side, if the bears maintain their grip, the first support level to watch is around 40 cents. This is because XRP recently bounced off 40 cents after an intense sell-off last week. A break below that could see XRP tumble towards another support at 37.5 cents. Make sure to hit that like button, everybody. I appreciate everybody who decided to tune into this live this evening. I'll catch you tomorrow. And until then, stay blessed, stay positive. I got to go help out with the kids. Have a blessed evening, everybody.